all students of IUMC and my viewers, Assalamu alaikum. Hope all of you are fine, staying at home and safe, and also you are studying at home. Today we are going to start our lecture on gymnosperm. Let us know what gymnosperm is. Gymnosperm is a Greek word and it came from two words, gymnos and spermos. Gymnos means naked and spermos means seed. So the plants which contain flower, but in a flower there is no ovary, and as a result there is no fruit formation, because we know that after fertilization ovary transforms into fruit and so seeds remain open. These type of plants are known as gymnosperm. This gymnosperm, this word was first used by Theophrastus. You know Theophrastus? He is known as father of botany, and in his book Inquiry into Plants, he first used this word gymnosperm. This gymnosperm, it prevailed in this world a long time ago, but now they are found in very limited amount. And among the living species, only 5 species are found naturally, such as Cycas pectinata, Podocarpus, and 3 species of Nitum. And others are found as living fossil. In Bangladesh, the species of gymnosperm that are found that are included in 4 divisions. They are Cycadophyta, Gingophyta, Gnetophyta, and Coniferophyta. Among Gingophyta, there is only one species, Ginkgo biloba, which is known as living fossil. We are going to discuss later on about what living fossil is. There are some informations here at the beginning of this chapter which are very important for MCQ or for admission test. So these informations are the tallest tree is known as Sequoia sempervirens. So this Sequoia sempervirens it is under Coniferophyta. Sequoia sempervirens. It is tallest tree and it is growing up to 300 years. And the oldest tree is present in Nevada and California of America, and its age is 5,000 years. Its name is bristlecone pine. So it is also included in this gymnosperm Coniferophyta. Even the largest conifer forest is present in Siberia, and this region is also known as largest biome of this world, and this is largest conifer forest of this world. Among gymnosperm and angiosperm, there are some similarities. So the gymnosperm which shows most similarities with the angiosperm, that is included in Gnetophyta division. And you know that among Gnetophyta there is Nitum, and in Nitum there are some characteristics like in gymnosperm there is no vessel in xylem tissue, but in case of Nitum there is an exception, that is primary type of vessel is present. So we are going to now know about the characteristics of gymnosperm. Firstly, this is sporophytic plant, evergreen and perennial plant. You know what is perennial? Perennial means the trees which live for more than 2 years, long years, and evergreen, and it is sporophyte. This sporophyte is divided into root, stem and leaf. There are some other characteristics, like here microsporophylls, they are closely arranged in cluster form and they form strobilus. But megasporophylls, they are loosely arranged and they do not form any strobilus. And other characteristics are, we can see sarcinate vernation is present. Do you remember what sarcinate vernation is? We learned this in farm, Pteridophyta. Sarcinate vernation means when at young stage leaf remains coiled, that is known as sarcinate vernation. So we can see these characteristics in case of cycas also. And there are some other characteristics like, as I told you before, there is no ovary in the flower. So as there is no ovary in the flower, during pollination, pollen grain directly falls on micropylgagia. And After fertilization, we know that ovary transforms into fruit. So as there is no ovary, there is no fruit formation and seeds remain open. There are some other characteristics of gymnosperm. That is, archegonium is produced, which is one of the primitive characteristics, and also here sperm is multiflagellated, and some other characteristics, like as I told you before, that in xylem tissue there is no vessel, and in phloem tissue there is no companion cell. Though there are some exceptions, in metum we can see primary type of vessel is present. And another exception is ephedra. Generally we can see that in gymnosperm there is no double fertilization. You remember what double fertilization is? Double fertilization means during fertilization of angiosperm, when one male gamete is united with the egg and another male gamete is united with secondary nucleus. These two processes occur simultaneously altogether, which is called double fertilization. In case of gymnosperm there is no double fertilization, but in ephedra we can see double fertilization is present. From this ephedra, ephedrine, one kind of medicine we can find, we can get, which is used in breathing problems. And there is another exceptional important characteristics in gymnosperm, that is leaf scar is present. What is leaf scar? When a leaf falls but still there is a special sign present on the stem, that is known as leaf scar. Okay, so there are some other characteristics, we are going to know it later on. Now we are going to discuss about cycas. In your syllabus, among gymnosperm, you have to learn about the characteristics of cycas, about reproduction, about all information about cycas. Let us first know about the classification of cycas. It is included in kingdom Plantae and division Cycadophyta, class Cycadopsida, order Cycaderis, family Cycadaceae, and genus Cycas. Now, what is the habitat of cycas? Where do cycas grow? Cycas generally grows in the hilly area and where there is generally dry condition, but it grows well in humid and tropic environment. And in different countries of the world, like Australia, China, Japan, India, Bangladesh, in different countries it grows both naturally and also it is planted as ornamental plant. In Bangladesh, Cycas pectinata grows naturally in Chittagong Hill Tracts area, but other species like Cycas sarcinalis, Cycas revoluta, they are planted as ornamental plant in the garden. We have to know about the characteristics, about the sporophyte of Cycas. What are the characteristics? Cycas plant, you can see that this is sporophyte, as I told you before, and it is sporophyte is divided into root, stem and leaf, and here the stem is cylindrical and unbranched. And in cycas there are two types of leaves present. One is foliage leaves and another is scale leaves. Foliage leaves are pinnately compound leaf, and these leaves are arranged at the apex of cycas. You have seen cycas in our Raju college also, cycas plant is present. So at the apex part of stem, leaves of cycas, they are spirally arranged, and these leaves, they have clear midrib, and this is pinnately compound leaf. And another type of leaf, that is scale leaf, is present, brown, that is brown in color. And this cycas here, male and female plant is different. And cycas is also known as palm fern. Sometimes for 2 marks this question come in exam. Why cycas is known as palm fern? As the cycas plant, the stem looks like palm tree and leaf of cycas look like leaf of fern, that's why it is known as palm fern. We have to know other 2 important informations about cycas. One is cycas is known as living fossil, another is cycas has coralloid root. But before going to that, we have to know about sarcinate vernation. Do you remember I told you before that in case of gymnosperm we can see sarcinate vernation? Sarcinate vernation is one of the important characteristics of cycas. At young stage, leaf remains coiled, which is known as sarcinate vernation. Now we have to know what coralloid root is. Coralloid root, it is one of the important characteristics of cycas. Coralloid root means in cycas, after the formation of main root, it is disintegrated and fibrous root is produced. This fibrous root it grows dichotomously. Do you remember what is dichotomous? When one branching from two branches are developed, then another again from one branch two branches are developed. This type of structure is known as dichotomous branch. So this fibrous root, this is dichotomously branched. It comes near the soil. As soon as it comes near the soil, then it is attacked by cyanobacteria, Nostoc, Anabaena, this type of cyanobacteria. Then the root is deformed. It changes its shape and it looks like sea coral. And that's why it is known as coralloid root. So this coralloid root is one of the important characteristics of cycas. This is very important. It comes for 2 marks question. Why root of cycas is known as coralloid root? Another important topic is living fossil. What is living fossil? Why cycas is known as living fossil? These two are very important questions. Now, first answer is cycas is known as living fossil. There are some other living fossils also, as I told you before, Ginkgo biloba, and there are some minerals which are also known as living fossil. So, why cycas is known as living fossil? Because cycas is under Cycadales order, and commonly the members of Cycadales order they are known as cycads. Before Mesozoic era, there are many species of Cycadales order prevail in this world, but now only few of them are living in this world, and others are found as fossil. Including cycas, only 9 genus and 100 species are present. So cycas is among them, and cycas shows similarities with the characteristics of that fossilized cycads. That means the cycads plant included in Cycadales order, which are found now in fossilized form, with these characteristics of cycas are similar. That's why cycas is known as living fossil. So we have learned up to this about some informations which are required for MCQ or admission test, little bit informations about this tallest tree, about oldest tree in this world, and about some informations what is palm fern, what is coralloid root, what is living fossil, and about the sporophyte of structure of cycas. Now the another important thing we are going to know about cycas, that is characteristics of cycas. So though some of the characteristics already I have discussed, as you know, cycas is sporophyte and body can be divided into root, stem and leaf. Here all the microsporophylls, they are combinedly they are clustered and they are arranged in strobilus, but female megasporophyll, they do not form strobilus, they are loosely arranged and they form crown type of structure. And another important characteristic is in the leaf there is transfusion tissue present. And also I told you before that cycas, it contains multiflagellated sperm, and this sperm, it is the largest among the sperm of whole plant kingdom. And heteromorphic alternation of generation is seen. This is heterosporous. Heterosporous means 2 types of spores are produced, microspore and megaspore. So these are important characteristics. Sarcinate vernicium, as I told you before, coralloid root. So these are the characteristics of cycas. Now we have to know what are the similarities of cycas with fern. Both are sporophyte. Body can be divided into root, stem and leaf. And in both of the plant, fern and cycas, we can see sarcinate vernicium. Then in both cases, sperm is multiflagellated and heteromorphic alternation of generation is seen. So these are the similarities among cycas and fern. Now we have to know about the reproduction of cycas. Cycas reproduces by following 2 methods. One is asexual reproduction, another is sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means the method of reproduction which is done without the union of male and female gamete. And this reproduction is done here in case of cycas by bud formation. Bud is produced on the stem, and when this bud is separated and is planted, then this bud produces another cycas plant. Sometimes during March-April month, seedlings are produced at the base of cycas plant. So if these seedlings are separated and planted, then from that also cycas plants are grown. Now we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction of cycas. So we have to know about the sexual reproduction which is done by the union of male and female gamete. We have to know that about the structure of microsporophyll and megasporophyll. So let us draw the diagram. Structure of microsporophyll and megasporophyll. This is structure of microsporophyll. I told you before that microsporophylls. What are the microsporophylls? Here, microsporophylls are leaf-like structures which are arranged and they are arranged in cluster and forms strobilus. So this is structure of microsporophyll. I told you before that male and female plant of cycas, it is totally different. It is two different plants. So this is structure of microsporophyll. This is apophysis and this is sorus. This is microsporophyll. I am going to discuss about sexual reproduction after drawing the diagram of megasporophyll. So megasporophyll, here ovules are present and these ovules, they are not covered, they are naked, and these are the structure of ovule. These are pinule and these are ovule. So this is megasporophyll. So in case of cycas, sexual reproduction is done by the union of male and female gamete. These microsporophylls, they combine together cluster in cluster, they are combinedly form strobilus. This is one microsporophyll. There is one extended part at the apex which is known as apophysis, and at the dorsal part there are cluster of sporangium present, and 2 to 5 number of sporangium combinedly forms sorus. Inside the sporangium there is spore mother cell which by meiosis cell division forms microspore, and then from microspore sperm is produced which is multiflagellated and largest among the sperm of whole plant kingdom. In case of megasporophyll, we can see that there are some small pinna like structure which is one kind of leaflet. This is known as pinule, and these are ovules present. These are reddish brown in color and they are naked. So this is structure of megasporophyll. Inside ovule, megaspore mother cells are produced which after meiosis forms megaspore. From megaspore, archegonium is produced, and inside archegonium ovum is produced. So how fertilization occurs? By the help of wind, this microspore, it falls on the chamber of ovule and then it forms pollen tube. Then inside pollen tube, sperm is produced and then union of male and female gametes, sperm and ovum occurs. After that, zygote is produced and then seed is produced. From that seed, new cycas plant is produced. So this is about the reproduction of cycas. We have to know what is the economic importance of cycas. You know that this cycas is one kind of ornamental plant, so it is planted for decoration purpose in garden. Also, different other occasions like for decoration of gate, for decoration of house, for decoration of flower bouquet, these young leaves of Cycas that is used. There are some other uses of Cycas like Cycas sarcinalis. Here the seeds, it is used for arrowroot formation. Then Cycas revoluta, the seeds are used as food, and Cycas pectinata, the young leaves are used as vegetables. Also from some other species, from seed, shagu is produced, and also from pith of stem, one kind of wine is produced. So all these are economic importance of Cycas. Before going to finish our lecture, we have to know one important thing. That is, sometimes megasporophyll that is used, that is sold as market as Sharpomoni, and people say that it has medicine for all kind of diseases, but actually this is not true. So what we have learned from this chapter, we have learned what gymnosperm is, what are the characteristics of gymnosperm, then some informations about small topics for MCQ and admission test. Then we have learned about classification of Cycas, about habitat structure, about some important informations like what is palm fern, what is coralloid root, what is living fossil, and what are the similarities between Cycas and fern, what are the general characteristics of Cycas, what are the reproduction methods of Cycas, and lastly economic importance. So today's homework is you have to compare between Cycas and fern, and this is for 3 marks, and for 4 marks you have to learn, you have to write it down, structure of microsporophyll and megasporophyll. After the vacation, when all things will be normal and all of we will be going back to RMC again, then you have to submit this homework. So see you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.